This is a protest that's just now started outside New Scotland Yard on the embankment in Westminster. This protest, a direct response to the events on Clapham Common last night. I'm going to pop out the way and just let the camera get a flavour of the shots here. You can see 200 or 300 people here at least near that iconic New Scotland Yard sign, of course, well known throughout the world. They're here to protest, as I say, not just about the events of last night, but of course to pay their respects to Sarah Everard and to raise the public's awareness about the violence against women in general. That's why they're here. Now, clearly, just like last night, because of the numbers here, you can see they're all absolutely packed in like sardines in this small sort of concourse area just outside Scotland Yard. They are in contravention of lockdown rules. Now, police, because of concerns, in fact, just you can see some more police reinforcements arriving outside New Scotland Yard now. A lot of women in the contingent there as well, because a great deal of criticism about the fact that when police backup came in, reinforcements, there were women initially, but male police officers to supplement the numbers, because there's only so many women police officers that were available at that time. Male officers were in there and they were directly involved in arrests, which of course upset a lot of people. So as I was saying, the situation here at the moment is that they are clearly not complying with COVID rules and regulations, but given the furore over what happened last night and the arrests that followed, a decision by the police, because they said of real concerns over health, because of the way in which people were crammed in together, they moved in to try and start dispersing people, and that's of course when hostilities began. A lot of fallout, a lot of pressure on the Metropolitan Police Commissioner Cressida Dick. I can tell you that she is currently involved in doing an interview for the television cameras, which we will bring to you as soon as we can. We're not exactly sure what she is going to say. Her colleagues, her officers last night were talking about being left with no choice but to intervene because of the fact that people were crammed in together in such a small space. And not just that, there were, they say, hostile elements in the crowd that were shouting at the police, were pushing, and then began throwing items at the police as well, and that necessitated them to move in and start arresting people there. That explanation, though, has not satisfied the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan. He wants an independent investigation, not satisfied with Cressida Dick's remarks and explanation, apparently. And further pressure, of course, a notable intervention from the Home Secretary, who said that she found some of the scenes that she saw on social media last night. She was very concerned and worried by those scenes. The Home Office Minister Victoria Atkins was on Sophie Ridge's programme this morning. Again, she didn't give a fulsome support to the Home Secretary. She said that we'd have to wait to see what Cressida Dick said in response to the events of last night. Now, you can see as we speak that the police are putting up more barriers to guard the area around New Scotland Yard, keeping the protesters who are arriving all of the time here. I don't know if you can see them over there. They're actually spilling out onto the roadway, onto the embankment itself, because there are significant numbers of people who have decided to turn up in defiance of police warnings not to, because of the fact they would be breaking the law, and in response to the scenes that they saw with a number of people, 4 was the last count given to us by the Metropolitan Police, arrested as a result of events down on Clapham Common. So it's peaceful at the moment, but there is certainly a tension in the area. This event has been organised by a group called Sisters Uncut. Now, they are not Reclaim the Streets. Reclaim the Streets say that they had for days tried to engage with Scotland Yard with a view to having a smaller scale, socially distanced vigil, which they believed would have satisfied health requirements and would not have led to the scenes last night where many more than were originally planned to turn out onto Clapham Common decided to turn out in defiance of that police ban. So here again today, as I say, we're seeing them here just outside New Scotland Yard. Certainly so far, of course, a different response from the police, but to be fair to the police, it was a different response yesterday as well, until events did start to deteriorate. A lot of female officers that were visible only later as the crowd, according to the Metropolitan Police, began to become more hostile, were other officers, and by necessity, just because of the numbers of female officers on duty at that time, there were male officers in there as well. So tense here, people determined to have their voices heard, though, despite the fact that they know they could be risking arrest.